The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by Shacknews.com. Shacknews is the place to be for all your gaming needs with news, guides, walkthroughs, and reviews, including the hands-on preview of Back for Blood. And check out their Shack Chat, where the guys debate which video games would make the best Olympic event. And remember, you can join in on the conversation with your own topics and opinions using the Shacknews Cortex and Shacknews Reader. So if you're a gamer, Shacknews is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @CheckNews and at checknews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. Swing of the drive. He's blocked. Away. Back to goal. Reflog. It's first goal for backwards.
No. Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, August 9th, 2021. I am your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil. How are you, sir? What's going on? Good. Fresh off the orange and brown scrimmage yesterday. A lot of fun seeing the Browns out there actually playing a little bit of football, practicing, and in the stadium. So that was a good time for me and the family. I'm really, really excited now about the season as if I wasn't before, but actually seeing the guys out on the field really got everybody pumped up, and it was good to see the fans all out there. And boy, it had the feel, Dave, I'll tell you, of like opening day. Already.
It looked like opening day.
Yeah. And it was a practice. It was amazing.
Yeah, that is incredible. We'll get into that later in the show here in headlines, but we've got a guy who hasn't been on in a little bit. Let's see how he's looking. There he is, the one and only Dollar Dog Sports, Mr. Nick Greenwood. What's up?
Hey, Dave. Glad to be back finally. It's my once every 4 months appearance.
Yeah. We let you out of the closet.
Yeah.
One leg man says he was there, Chris. Got soaked, but it was really fun.
Oh, it was. I'll tell you what, 45-minute rain delay, Dave. And I know, Nick, you were there too, man. And it was a torrential downpour that came out of nowhere because it was hot. It was steamy. And it was like, man, oh, man, this is going to be unbearable. I wish it would cool down. And then, as fate would have it, sure, it cools down with a little monkey paw action. And it cools down because of rain and just horrible, horrible weather there for 45 minutes. But then it cleared and it was all good. And we had football to watch.
That's right. All right, we got a packed show, so let's get into it. Tonight, we're going to power rank. We're going outside of Cleveland. We're going to go with our top 3 non-Cleveland fan bases in sports. There's a lot of good ones. Obviously, Cleveland's number 1. Then we'll get into our featured interview of the night. Legendary UFC announcer Bruce Buffer joining the show. Chris, can you hit me with it's time?
No. I'm afraid I'll get sued, to be honest with you. I don't want that to happen.
I am nervous that I'm going to intro him and I'm going to be like, it's time. And I'm like, oh, that was not great.
This interview is over. The next thing you'll hear from me will be from my lawyers.
That's right. All right. After that, we're going to get into Cleveland headlines. We're going to talk some Browns. We're going to talk some Indians. We're going to give away that 16x20 Nick Chubb autographed poster. One of you lucky Browns fans is taking that home tonight. And then we'll wrap up with the best and worst tweets of the week. Let's kick it off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, Power Rank Monday brought to you by Labatt Blue. Tailgate season is almost here. I guess it is here because there was tons of people tailgating for a Browns practice. Grab some blues, grab some blue lights, grab some seltzers, Enjoy the rest of the summer before the kiddos go back to school. Grab some Labatt Blues. 40,000 people in attendance for Browns practice.
At the top end. At the top end. I think there were 40,000 tickets available. There were a lot of people there, but it wasn't quite 40.
There was 1.3 million at the parade, and there was 40,000 at the practice, Chris.
That's correct. I've got all kinds of pictures of outside the stadium, but a lot of them didn't make it in for some reason.
So Chris, you were there. There wasn't a whole lot of football played, but there was some really cool, like WWE almost promos, Stefanski coming out, Baker coming out, pumping up the crowd.
Yeah, that was cool. And you also had Myles Garrett kind of pumping everybody up, running out of the tunnel to start it all off and kind of kick it off. So it had enough in there to keep everybody's interest, even though it was just kind of a glorified practice out there on the field. The actual scrimmaging wasn't that heavy, but it was good to see real football. I tell you what, a couple of things that stuck out to me. Donovan Peoples-Jones. I tell you what, him and Baker Mayfield, they've got some chemistry. They've got some big-time chemistry. Nick, I don't know if you noticed that, but man, oh man, those two seem to be just on the same page all afternoon.
Yeah, and another guy I thought stood out was Harrison Bryant. I felt like Baker was hitting him over and over again too. And those were the two guys that I thought looked pretty good. And the one other thing was the wave came back during the rain the rainstorm. We hit him with the wave like 10 times around the stadium.
Underneath the awnings, it was kind of neat to see that. I'm anti-wave guy.
I'm anti-wave guy as well.
Underneath the awnings was kind of cool. And a rain delay, what else are you going to do? I mean, there's nothing on the field. There's nothing else you can do. So the wave was acceptable, I think, under those circumstances.
Nick, you seem like a pro-wave kind of guy.
I am.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I love the wave the first 2 times around, and then it just kind of slowly dies. And after like the 8th or 9th time, it kind of gets a little bit old. But I love the wave at the beginning every time.
I hate the wave.
I've always wondered who starts it. Do you have to get your whole section and say, okay, you 40 guys, we got to go at the same time? Or does one drunk guy to stand up and everyone follows? Or
well, that's kind of the way it went. I mean, there was a group of people, I think they were by me, that kind of started it up, and then they started sections shaming like the other groups, like booing them if they weren't doing it. And then that's the way it really starts, is the shame that's involved, just like anything else.
All right, let's power rank our top 3 non-Cleveland fan cities. Sports teams.
Does it have to be a city, Dave?
No, it doesn't.
That wasn't clear in the instructions.
It doesn't have to be a city, but typically they'll play in a city.
Well, yes. Municipality.
Number 3. I am going with the New Orleans Saints. All the way back to right after Katrina. Remember that first game back? We've talked about that. Ever since then, I've loved that fan base. They bring it. You don't hear about them on a lot of top 10 lists. They're up there, man. They're up there.
Bounties. I mean, come on. There are some negatives.
The fans didn't have anything to do with the bounty.
Allegedly.
That was Double G.
I'll bring it up again. I've brought this up before on here, and you guys both like stare at me like
What?
I'm making it up. The cha-ching years down there, you guys still don't remember. The Saints cha-ching, bada bing. Oh, man. That was years ago when they were good for like a season. This is way before Drew Brees and stuff. And there was a commercial, and I forget what the commercial was for, but it was one of those fast food restaurants. And the fans down there adopted it. And it was cha-ching, bada bing. It was a really dumb thing, but that's what Saints fans were known for a while before Drew Brees got there.
Yeah, and then they were hooed at. Mac Attack MMA says, we want the buff. We want the buff. All right, we'll get there. Chill out. We're doing our power rank. Number 2. I am going with the Packers. Anytime there's a fandom that owns the team, you know they're going to be great. Cold weather. They pack that place. You can't beat the Cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. They get a lot of credit, though.
They get a lot of credit.
The Lambeau Leap and how great are these fans and all that. Yeah. We know about it.
I wouldn't say they're overrated. I wouldn't say they're underrated. I think they're rated. They're rated
appropriately.
It's easy to be a fan when you have great quarterback play for 40 years straight between Bart Starr and then Brett Favre and into Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love.
That is very true. That is very true.
Dan Majorski or whatever his name was in between there.
Number 1. Bills Mafia, our brother from another mother, the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Can't be
Another easy one.
another super easy.
They get a lot
one.
of credit.
Yep. Again,
Tables.
not overrated. Great fan
They're
base.
rated.
Very Cleveland-esque, the people there.
Right.
Chris, what do you got? What are your top 3?
So here's what I did with my list. I went a little different because I would have had like the Bills. I probably would have had Green Bay up there. I wouldn't have had the Saints, but I would have had like similar ones. So I had to do something a little bit different.
All right,
So
mix it up.
I'm going kind of local. I'm going Ohio underrated fan bases.
Okay.
Non-Cleveland, but Ohio underrated fan bases. My number 3, Dave, this should be near and dear to your heart.
Number 3.
Our Miami Redhawks hockey team.
Love and honor.
Yeah, love and honor. I'll tell you what, back in the days of Goggin, were you there for the Goggin days?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They used to pack that little barn. I'll tell you, and they still do. Now they've got a nice big ice arena and everything else that they've actually built up over the years.
They built
then,
that.
It was just this little bandbox type of thing that I would play broomball in.
I had broomball class there
and all that stuff. It was not dedicated solely to the hockey. It was just that was the rink that everybody would use. And the fans, though, really rally behind Miami hockey, which you would not assume, Oxford, Ohio to be a hotbed for hockey, but it is. It's a big time hockey school, and that's just really cool. And I think the fan base is underrated for that reason. Did you go to many games, Dave?
So they built that really, really nice hockey arena like right after I left.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was.
That would have been the right time. Yeah, same here.
Yep. So yeah, 2 credits of broomball senior year was my Goggin experience.
There you go. Yep, broomball is also underrated, but that's a different show.
Yeah, we'll power rank
Different
that next
time.
week.
My number 2.
Number 2.
Talked to J.W. Johnson a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago. Name dropping there, Dave.
Oh yeah.
But Crew Soccer here in Columbus. Crew Soccer, those fans, you think about what they've gone through with this whole Anthony Precourt. They tried to take the team, move them to Austin, Texas. Really, all the odds were stacked against them. In ironic sense, it was the Art Modell rule that was founded because of the Cleveland Browns. When they left, there was a rule, there was a law in Ohio that you can't move without, certain flags being met and certain things being done. And the Crew fans pushed it hard. Hashtag save the Crew. They kept the Crew in town. Then the team responds by winning a cup last year, which is fantastic and gets forgotten quite a bit. Wins an MLS Cup, gets a new stadium this year. I think it's a fantastic story. And of course, the Haslams swoop in and save the day in this case. So hopefully they do the same for our Brownies up there. It's been a long road, but it looks like we're on the right path. But it was really cool. And someday there should be a movie written about it. Just the way the fans came together down here, the Nordeca folks and all these different fan groups to keep the Crew in Columbus, get them a new stadium, and get a championship. Pretty inspiring, really.
Yeah, and I'm just pumped to go to a Crew game with JW.
Yeah, that's right. We still have to take him up on that.
We do.
Beautiful
Golfing and soccer.
Yeah, I got a lot to do.
We
got
do.
a lot to do. And in between our football team, he better keep his eye on that too.
That's right.
And number 1.
Numero uno.
So this one's going out to my brother. I found out tonight. So he's taking his family down to Florida, right? And they're driving, which is just insane. That's a long way to go. He was in the heart of SEC country down there in Alabama. And apparently a mattress flew off the car in front of him, hit his windshield. So I think he is still stuck in Alabama. Everybody in the car was fine. Everybody's good. But he is stuck right now in Alabama in the middle of a family trip that was supposed to be a week. They were supposed to be getting down there today. And right now, who knows what kind of a hotel they're in right now in Alabama. But he graduated from Dayton. He's a Dayton Flyer. And if there's one thing I know about the Dayton Flyers, they love their basketball team. They love their basketball. They host the first round. The NCAA, there's always a great hotbed for basketball, collegiate basketball down there at Dayton. So I will give my tip of the cap to them. And Paul, safe driving on the rest of that trip, by the way.
That is wild. I was wondering where you're going. I was like, all right, SEC team. No. Okay.
Right. It all came back to Dayton somehow, right? Yeah.
Full circle to Dayton. Good list.
Mhm. Thank you. See, I think that's pretty good, right? I mean, a little bit. I got Miami, I went Dayton, I went Crew.
And
I
you,
think all of
you
those are
left the
kinda underrated
Buckeyes off.
fan bases. They're not going to get any play nationally, but I think for our show, we need to recognize these fan bases every once in a while. Throw 'em
Love
a
it.
bone, right?
Yes, absolutely. Nick, what do you got? Top 3 non-Cleveland fan bases.
All right, my number 3
Number 3.
is I went off a little bit here and I did Arizona State basketball. I don't know if you guys remember, it was bigger, probably like 10 or 15 years ago. They had the curtain of distraction.
It was
And they would hold up-
incredible.
You remember that?
Oh,
They would-
yeah.
Yeah, they hold up the curtain, and then when the guy was shooting a free throw, they'd open the curtain, and there'd be some bizarre thing. Like they had Elvis impersonators. One time they had Michael Phelps in a Speedo. It was actually Michael Phelps. He just popped out of the curtain. They had so many different things. They had 2 fat guys in bow ties with no shirt doing the Chris Farley, Patrick Swayze dance. They would just do all these bizarre things to kind of distract the opposing player. And I don't even know if they still do it, but it was huge a while back.
They had Charlie from Always Sunny. Is that right?
Yeah, they had a few celebrities. There was someone else too, and I don't remember who it was, but yeah, Charlie Day was on there. I don't know what he did, but he popped out too, and yeah, pretty cool. My number 2.
Number 2.
I have the Oakland, Los Angeles, Vegas Raiders.
The Raiders.
The team
matter
without
where
a
they
home.
move.
They just wandered the desert.
I know. Well, it's crazy. You'd think like when the Browns moved, if they would have stayed the Baltimore Browns, if they wouldn't have fought for everything, we wouldn't have been fans of the Baltimore Browns. But no matter how many times the Raiders move, they still have those same guys, the giant gorilla man, the guy with the silver face and the big black circles around his eyes and a helmet and the big spiky shoulder pads. They just follow that team no matter. They've moved. How many times have they moved? 4? Because wasn't it Oakland, Vegas, or Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas?
Which is so weird to me. Like I don't if the Indians moved to Nashville, I would not be a fan of the Indians. Like I don't get how they do that. So I'm glad you put them on the list. They're a little weird, but they're very loyal to a fault.
Yeah, and they kind of remind me of the old stories how the Browns fans would throw the batteries and the dog bones. They kind of have that same nasty streak where you could see them doing some kind of
black hole.
Black
hole, absolutely.
Some inappropriate stuff to the opponent.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then my number 1.
Numero uno.
Nothing crazy, same as Dave's. You have to love Bills Mafia. I'm sure we'll hate them and be annoyed by them here pretty soon because we're probably going to have to face them at some point. Between them, the Chiefs, and the Ravens look like the teams that are kind of right there for the playoffs. So we'll probably hate them here pretty soon. But for right now, I like them and admire them, and they have that Cleveland feel, the cold weather, the crazy tailgating, we don't really smash people through tables usually, but they have that aspect too, and it just kind of has that Cleveland feel to it.
Yep, we'll meet them in the playoffs. We'll drink a bunch of Labatt's together, and then it's going to be like when we played the Cubs. We're just going to hate them if they beat us, and they're going to hate us if we win. So we'll see how it goes. Who's this? Massive Fried? Sorry if I butchered your name there. Top 3 non-Cleveland. He goes Buffalo Bills, New York Mets, Green Bay Packers. That's a good one. Kev says, did anyone say Boston? Absolutely not. No, sorry. And that's Power Rank Monday. Get those in each week. We'll read them off. But now it is time for a UFC legend. We're going to bring on Bruce Buffer, talk some UFC. Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley coming to Cleveland. Talk about that. We'll be back here in about...
And some friends.
some
friends.
friends.
The TV show Friends. Let's work that in.
There we go. We will talk to him here. We'll be back in about 25 seconds. 30 seconds. Uh-oh, some technical difficulties here. We will try to be right back with Bruce Buffer. All right, we'll see if this works. All right, one sec. One sec. Hopefully this will work. That's really strange. For some reason, the audio is not going through. All right, well, we'll try to bring him back here towards the end of the show.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. Oh boy, we'll figure it out. Technical difficulties. That's all right. We'll be back with Bruce.
In the transition, Dave,
Yes.
can I pull out some baseball cards?
You know what? Let's for the technical difficulties,
Yes.
let's give away the Nick Chubb 16 by 20. Get the
That's
fans back with us, and then we'll do baseball cards.
So we can lose them again.
That's right. All right, let's give away a jersey. What do you say?
Let's do not a jersey,
Well,
right?
not a jersey, a
Picture.
16 by 20. Chris, you know me. When there's technical difficulties, I get flirted.
You're all over the place.
I am all over
You know
the
who
place.
was all over the place?
Who?
Nick Chubb yesterday.
There we go.
Every time he touched the ball, everybody was going nuts in that stadium. It was fantastic to see. And of course, with no tackling, he just kind of had a field day out there, which was fun to see. But Nick Chubb looking good out there in practice.
Austin says the real fans are tuned in here. Kev says put your microphone up to the speaker. All right, we're going headlines. All right, brought to you by TSE Cleveland. Every week we're giving away Cleveland sports memorabilia. Check them out. Follow Big Play Reflog. Follow TSE Cleveland on Twitter for your chance to win every week. Signed jerseys, helmets, personal items that you want sent in. TSE Cleveland has it all. And this week, we're giving away a big one. We're giving away the Nick Chubb signed 16 by 20 poster.
That is fantastic.
And the winner is
I like the graphic you got up there too.
What?
Got Zach Micel up there.
Yeah, we're gonna talk headlines in a little bit. The winner is Jake _ Hess 52. Jake Hess, you are the winner.
Jake.
Not too bad.
Really
Taking
nice.
that home. Shoot us a DM. We'll get that out to you this week. All right, Chris, let's do some baseball cards.
Wait, I'm looking up Jake Hess. Let's see if he follows. Oh, he does. He actually follows me.
Chris,
He looks like a good guy.
Last week, the guy who won, you're like, oh, he doesn't follow me. He sent a DM to the show account and said, please tell Chris that I'm following him now.
That's the reason we do this whole thing, is just so I can get some of those stragglers out there.
That is right.
Call them out, get them on board. That's all I'm trying to do, Dave.
Ah, too funny.
So, ready for some baseball cards?
I am ready.
Dave, this week, I've got 1991 represented in Fleer Ultra Baseball cards, as well as the 1991 Leaf set. No relation to Ryan Leaf, I'm sure. Which one would you like, Dave? The one on my right or the one on my left? Leaf is on the right. Ultra is on the left.
I'm going Ultra.
Ultra it is. Fleer 91 Ultra Baseball. I'm not feeling any gum in this one, so this is already starting off well. Let's see if I can open this foil pack. Foil packs are always the harder ones to open. I need to pre-cut these is what I need to do, Dave. This is a mess. All right, here we go. Opening up the cards right now. We've got an Expos sticker. There's a collector's item, Dave.
There we go.
Mariano Duncan, Reds infielder. George Brett, Royals first base. That's a pretty solid one. Les Lancaster, Cubs pitcher. Oh, wow. Cecil Fielder, Tigers first base. That's nice.
That is a really good one.
And then you follow that up with John Smoltz, Braves pitcher. That's enough for like two different.
It's over. It's over.
Terry Mulholland, Phillies pitcher. There's another one. Junior Ortiz, Twins catcher. Oh, no. Come on. Is this a legitimate card? No, this is like a gold card. So I'm not going to give this one to you.
What do we got?
But it's Bo Jackson. You're killing it. You're killing it. Oh, here's another one. This one, actually, my uncle knows this guy. He used to pitch with him in the minor leagues. Doug Drabeck, Cy Young winner. Do you remember Doug Drabeck?
I remember the name. I don't remember watching him.
He was fantastic. Wow. Danny Nagel, Twins pitcher. Ray Lankford, Cardinals outfield. Ron Darling, Mets pitcher. And Delino DeShields, Expos second base.
Oh, heck, this is a pack.
Roberto Kelly, Yankees outfield. So you kind of have your pick. The way these packs have been going, you could pretty much beat me with any two of any of those cards.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm guessing you're probably going to go what? Little George Brett, Cecil Fielder, or are you going to put in Smoltz?
Schmaltz, it's tough to pass on Schmaltz.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go George Brett and Cecil Fielder.
George Brett, Cecil Fielder. Can I take your other two? It's probably better than anything else I'm going to open.
Absolutely not.
Another foil pack.
WJP Stat says the greatest pack of all time. No kidding. We've never had a pack like that.
Oh, wait. Here we go, Dave. It's starting off. Al Newman. You know who Al Newman is?
That's not really starting it off.
Nope. He's an infielder. It doesn't even say who for. Oh, the Minnesota Twins. There you go.
He sang the Toy Story song, didn't he?
Kev says, Dave, it's okay to interrupt.
That's Randy Newman.
He goes, it's okay to interrupt baseball cards if Bruce comes back.
Yes. Steve Avery. Not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, Ken Griffey. Senior.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Sr. How about that? It lists his home as Westchester, Ohio.
There we
There
go.
you go. Ken Griffey Sr. John Morris. Orlando Merced. Wally Backman from your Phillies. Kevin Brown from Milwaukee. Luis Rivera from the Boston Red Sox. Scott Chimpanrero from the Rangers. I'm losing it here, Dave.
Not good.
Joe Klink from the A's. Wayne Edwards, pitcher from your Chicago White Sox.
It's over.
Chris Donalds, third baseman from the Nye Mets. Floyd Bannister from the Angels. Here's one I know. Randy Myers, pitcher from the Reds. Frank Tanana, pitcher from Detroit. So I'm left with Ken Griffey Sr. and the field. Let's see. Who do I like from the field? I will go with, oh my God. These are just horrible. Kevin Brown, maybe? Orlando said. Steve Avery. Ken Griffey Sr., Steve Avery versus Cecil Fielder and George Brett. Nick, who you got as your winner this week?
And make it quick, Nick, because there is a right choice and a wrong choice.
Yeah, not a very tough one. I think even if you gave them all their kids, it would probably still be Dave because he would get Prince Fielder.
Yep.
That's right.
It's definitely Dave. Sorry, Chris.
Cecil Fielder, George Brett, Dave. Circle gets the square. You are our champion.
Boom. All right, we're going to work to get Bruce Buffer back here, but we're going to get into some Cleveland headlines now. We're going to talk some Indians and Browns. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
We already played it, but... All right, that's enough of that. Let's get into some Cleveland headlines, and let's talk a little Indians. Kick things off here. I believe we beat the Reds tonight. Is it over?
We did. Ohio Cup, right? Do we have the Ohio Cup?
I believe we do.
Does that give it to us? I'm not sure of the series.
I think so.
I think so, too. I think it might have been tied.
I think it was tied, and I think we got it.
we got it. I think we got it.
It's like the Ryder Cup. It stays with us.
Keith Britton tweeted this out. Indians president Chris Antonetti was on Bull and Fox. And he said, my expectation is our payroll will grow in 2022. Chris, do you believe in Antonetti? I don't think he controls the payroll.
No, that's a good point. But then again, it's almost statistically impossible for it to go down anymore. So. I mean, really, where else are you going to slash? You can't really slash much more unless you do it like the actual Major League movie.
This is true. Well, they didn't slash here because they went ahead and the Indians, Guardians, and the city of Cleveland struck that agreement. 15-year extension on Progressive Field. Also includes a 10-year option on that deal. Zach Meisel with the tweet there.
Yeah, it's good to see they're sticking around. I mean, there were enough of those rumors. There was enough smoke that people were getting nervous. People, including me, were getting nervous. I wasn't hearing anything in DM, so I knew nothing was official. But I had heard enough rumblings that I was very concerned. And no, they're sticking around. It looks like city of Cleveland, the state, as well as the Dolans themselves are all chipping in on this. So thanks to all the taxpayers in Cleveland and throughout the state of Ohio for making sure that the Cleveland Indians are going to stay for quite some time in the city of Cleveland.
All right, so what do we want to see?
Although they'll be called the Guardians, of course.
What do we want to see with the Guardians for improvements for, now that we know that they're going to be around?
I want
better players on the field. That would be great. That's my number one wish.
No injuries.
No injuries.
I want them to lean really far into the whole Guardian thing. I want the Guardians of Transportation on the foul poles. I want.
Ooh, that's good.
I like it.
I think, Chris, you tweeted out from, what was that? Hidden Temple, Olmec or Tolmec?
Olmec, yeah.
I want him, when you hit a home run, his eyes light up and fire shoots out. And
we should also have those in the field of play. Like, how great would that be? Like the Easter Island type of statues, just like kind of like Houston used to have with the flagpole out there. We would have the same thing just with Easter Island, just those huge rocks and statues out there in center field.
And I was
that would be home field advantage right there. That's what we need back at the Jake.
Yeah. Well, and back to the payroll thing too. I was thinking, if you're Paul Dolan, 90% of the fans hate you. 90% of the media makes fun of you for what you've been doing. And now they're going to roll out a new name, a new logo, new renovations to the stadium, maybe a new manager. You have to make a splash this offseason of some sort. You can't have the Guardians with all new everything and come out and go 78 and 84. Like that just wouldn't make sense, I don't think. I think he has to make some kind of splash. Maybe they bring in one or two decent name guys for offense. Our pitchers are pretty set.
Or you just add more shipping containers. If we had a bunch more shipping containers, that's what everybody's looking for. And those are great. You ever go up there into the shipping container areas?
No.
Oh, yeah. You can walk all the way up there, and it's just kind of like, what is this area for exactly? You can watch the game up there. You just stand up there, and it's just this little space for yourself. Yeah, they need more shipping container areas.
Wow.
Dave, you're not feeling the shipping containers? You've been up there, right? Or have you not?
No, I have. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it would be a great spot. Like if I was a kid or like an underage kid, go up there, grab a beer somehow, and then you can get up there and just kind of hide from everybody. Back in the day, that may have been a good move.
That's true.
Nowadays, it doesn't really make sense for me to be up there at all.
Yeah, Chris, you know me. I just put in another cool bar.
Yeah, they need bars everywhere. Hey, with the way, I mean, we won tonight, but if we're going to keep the payroll low, just at least keep everybody drunk. I mean, give us
right. Right.
Is it the Raiders that put in a nightclub? Wasn't that them in their new stadium? Yeah. It's like a full-on club. I think they have a DJ, and I think it's the Raiders stadium. I'll look into that. But
we need an infinity pool too, out in center. Like, I don't care, Monument Park and all that crap. Just get rid of it. The Jim Thome statue, that's fine. You can put him in center field too, for all I care. Just give me an infinity pool out there. That would be great. And a floating bar.
Yeah, there we go.
You just float in there and like
bar.
Give Jensen Lewis hell, and just float around in your back the whole time, and it'd be good old times in Cleveland right there.
Heck yeah.
Get me some Labatt Blues.
There we go.
Love it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's switch gears here to the Brownies real quick, because we have not talked enough Browns. And you mentioned this earlier, Chris. Cleveland.com put out this article. TPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, continues to be Mr. Reliable. I believe that was a training camp, but that's the game that you were at.
Yeah.
Are you reading much into this? I know you're not preseason, training camp, rah-rah guy, but they're on the field now. Are you reading into this as a legitimate threat? 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers that we have could all be legitimate threats.
Yeah, I am. Based upon, I've heard this from other sources that he's been playing pretty well in training camp all the way along. And then what he saw there on Sunday is like, wow, there's really chemistry between him and Baker. They seem to really have something going. So that was really good to see. And then also Higgins had a touchdown, and they did the red carpet, which I thought was pretty cool.
I saw that. And you see,
I'm all about the sizzle right now.
Do you see what he said?
Uh-uh.
He's like, I was walking a little slow after that. I fell on the ball in my stomach.
Higgins did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. One leg Mensa's tight ends look good. Nick, you were talking about that earlier.
Well, Austin Hooper didn't look great. He had a couple of drops. You know who looked good was Njoku.
Yes.
Njoku looked like he may be a beast again. I don't know. I've been so high on Njoku in the past and been burned so many times that I'm very cautious with him. But I would love to see him really play up to his potential, because, man, he is such a big body in there. When he caught that touchdown, I was like, man, how do we not use him more? But, he's got to earn his way.
And there were a few plays when they had all three of them on the field at once, and I love that. That gives you three weapons. Apparently they can all block at least somewhat. I don't know if Harrison Bryant blocks very well, but having all three of those guys, you never know who you have to cover.
I'll tell you what play probably isn't going to stick around for the regular season. Did you see this? The fake flea flicker?
No, I missed that.
I did not see the fake flea flicker.
Yeah, we ran that early, and I don't think it was Chubb. I think it was Hunt. They handed it off to Hunt. He runs up to the line, faked the flea flicker, and then took off. It's like, there's no way that play is going to work.
Maybe Barry Sanders.
Right. There's no way the fake flea flicker. That was really early on in the scrimmage, but they ran that thing, and I was just laughing. That's the only time you're ever going to run that. If you try and run that in the NFL, we're going to get killed. But I would love to be wrong, by the way. I want to see us run that like week 1 and have it work. The fake flea flicker.
We do a fake punt flea flicker with Jamie Gillen.
He looked good. He was out there. Man, he looks big. I mean, you're not used to punters looking that way. He looks like a linebacker out there, and he commands the field, man. For a punter, it's something else. It's something else. It was really cool to see Jamie out there.
Yeah, when we were at Sibling, he's gigantic.
Yeah.
Especially for a punter. This is a good tweet here. Let's see, where is it? Nick Carnes. I don't know if I have it here. No, shoot.
Do we need to see Nick Chubb run in this preseason? It would be fun, but we probably don't need it. Paul Podesta said that.
Yeah, Depot. What, Chris? I mean, where do you fall on that? Are you ready? Do you want to put them all just in a basement for a couple weeks and then just get a yes?
That's my opinion. I mean, I'm very new school on this. I used to be an old school guy. Like, no, you've got to get beat up. Nobody's getting beat up anymore. You know, I coach at the 5th and 6th grade level, right? And these kids aren't even getting beat. I mean, there's no level anymore where you do that. And I think that there's good reason for it. With CTE and all the injuries you accumulate over a career, don't be beating these guys up too much in practice, especially a guy who's established like Nick Chubb and you just paid him big money. Don't worry about it. Just get him to week 1 and then let him loose after that.
That is fair.
Yeah, the only starters I really want to see are the DBs. Other than I would let Denzel Ward. I want to make Denzel go out there, but we have good names and we have these new guys coming in. But
he looked good though on Sunday. Denzel Ward, he was wearing that bucket hat on the sideline.
But every report from camp is how you hear Donovan Peoples-Jones is lighting it up. Right. Higgins is lighting it up. Every receiver is doing well. What if that means our DBs might need a little bit of fine tuning, a little bit of teamwork, a little bit of maybe working together a little bit more? They've only had pads on 4 days, so I would like to see them get a little bit of reps.
I would say it's not really fair though, because everything's set up for Baker to have big days. I mean, you're not really getting a pass rush. It's a fake pass rush, right? And even with that, I mean, Miles was in there quite a bit. And then so the DBs are just out there, just hung out to dry. And you can't really hit. You can't really do much. So I don't know. I hope you're not right in that. I hope that we're not actually getting burned once it comes down to 100% play. But yeah, that was definitely in the back of my mind.
All right, last one. Hall of Fame 2022. We got some notable eligible players here. We've got DeMarcus Ware, Steve Smith, Andre Johnson, Robert Mathis, Anquan Bolden, Devin Hester, Vince Wilfork, the big man. It got us thinking, who on the current Cleveland Browns could you see as a Hall of Famer?
Let me say this. They need to put Clay Matthews in. Out of that grouping, put Clay Matthews in.
Right?
That's my pick. Forget about all those clowns.
I think he's in next year. Bold prediction, I think he's in next year.
I mean, you put him up, his career up next to all of those guys, and there's not many. I mean, Andre Johnson, obviously, but I don't know, man. Those guys aren't popping off the page to me when you look at what Clay Matthews did and what it meant for those Browns teams.
That is true. Yeah. Put Clay in. # put Clay in.
That's right.
Nick, any current players you think are going to be in the Hall of Fame?
I asked this question on Twitter last night, and I got a lot of people that weren't very happy that I asked it because it was the whole crowd of, you can't judge somebody before their career's over and you don't know what they're going to do.
Sure, that's fair.
But if you had to,
moron,
yeah, you're an idiot.
Pretty much. And I wouldn't argue that, but but if you had to guess, Miles would be the one that would stand out. I mean, he's already second most sacks per game ever behind Reggie White. If he maintained even close to that pace, he's can't say shoo-in, but he would be getting in there if he's healthy. Then after that, though, it's so hard for running backs and receivers. Yeah. Like a lot of fans, some people last night, they're like, well, Landry's definitely a Hall of Famer. And he's a great guy and a great culture guy, and he did have a lot of records with receptions early on in his career, but it's hard to look at a receiver like that and say, yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer over some of the guys that haven't got in.
Let me tell you, it's going to require the Cleveland Browns doing something like winning a Super Bowl for you to get multiple guys in the Hall of Fame off of the team.
Yep.
Too. You know, I think that definitely helps. You know, if the Browns in the 80s win a Super Bowl, I guarantee you Ozzie Newsome's not the only one in, right?
Yeah.
You'd have the Clay Matthews. You'd probably have a Bernie Kosar. Who knows? But yeah, it's going to be not only their individual success, it's also going to be dependent on team success as well. But I'm with you. I think Miles is definitely on a track. He is. Man.
Sorry, I think so. And last night when I asked for all the Cleveland teams, and the more I thought about it, Kevin Love might have the best shot just because the NBA lets anybody.
Oh my God.
The Pro Football or the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame lets anybody in, and he was so good early on in his career, and he's won some Olympic stuff. He's won a title with the Cavs. How great would it be if Kevin Love became the Hall of Famer of this generation of Cleveland?
Well,
I go with J.R. Smith.
LeBron.
Well, yeah, LeBron.
Oh yeah, you
that guy too.
Oh man.
How about Mobley? I'd love to see him in the Hall of Fame.
There we go. Before he's played a game.
He hasn't played a
Mobley.
game, but boy, did you see that dunk?
Look
Man.
pretty good.
That's pretty good. I forget about that block where he got just blocked, and it was
Yeah,
kind of embarrassing. Forget about that. But that dunk, man,
Hall
that
of
got me
Fame
excited.
dunk.
The guy can play a little bit of defense too.
Yes, he can.
I'm excited about this guy.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's do best worst tweets, and then we're gonna try to get Bruce Buffer back here.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. It is time for
Is it going to get us into trouble this week, by the way? It caused a big stir last
what, that
week.
Bengals fan?
Oh, so many 16-year-olds were just roasting me online.
16-year-olds with 2 followers.
Yeah.
Ratio.
Well, yeah, I probably should have researched it more before I put that up.
No, you don't have to research a tweet. You see the tweet, you go at face value. Who cares?
Well, his name's Bengals YouTube, and he talks about the NFL, and he's like, well, why would you think I was a Bengals fan?
Idiot.
That's all I was-
All right, Nick, what do we got here? Best tweet of the week.
All right, I love this tweet. So SportsCenter posted who's taking home the 3-point crown, and they picked all the best 3-point contest shooters. You have Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Larry Bird, and Klay Thompson on there. And then Mark Price, he quote tweeted it, and he said, "Have room for one more?" And I just thought that was so perfect because he won it twice, didn't he? Or am I making that up? The 3-point
He won
contest?
it twice. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I believe he was over 400 for his career from a shooting percentage perspective.
Yeah, and he wasn't shooting nearly. I mean, and he wasn't shooting the volume of anybody today, obviously. But
Sure.
I mean, to leave him off that list was kind of silly. But I love that he commented on that. And I actually have a Mark Price story. I'll try to keep it short because I know everyone wants to see Buffer. But I was at a coaching clinic, and they had a bunch of college and NBA coaches come in and talk to everybody. And he was there because he was the head coach of, I think, Charlotte at the time, or North Carolina Greensboro, one of the North Carolina teams. And I was such an idiot. I was so starstruck. I walked down to him. I didn't even say hi. I just put my arm around him and handed my phone to someone and said, "Can you take a picture?" And
you didn't even ask if you could get a picture. You just photobombed it.
Yeah, I was completely rude. Not intentionally. I was just so starstruck by him. And then I awkwardly at the end, he finally talked to me a little bit after. I think he was shocked that I was so inconsiderate. And all I could say was, "My brother used to make you dunk on NBA Jam." that was all I could get out. I was so in awe of Mark Price.
What did he say to that?
I think he just said he said something like, "Wouldn't that be nice?" or "That'd be a first time," or something. I'm sure he has dunked, but he played it off like he never has dunked.
Say "God bless you, son."
That's great. Chris,
There could have been two. There could have been two players off of that Cavs team.
Craig Elo,
or Steve Kerr.
Oh God, there could have been 3.
Yeah, Steve Kerr would have been another good one.
Yeah, that's very true.
Everybody forgets Kerr came off the bench for us. He was a garbage time player for the Cavs. Which is just wild because then he went to the Bulls, and obviously the rest is history.
Oh yeah. All right, Chris, worst tweet of the week.
This is from FanDuel. FanDuel asks,
Oh,
is Baker Mayfield holding the Browns back from winning a Super Bowl? And this is from Jeff Schwartz. They actually quote him.
Yes.
My buddy Jeff. They have the most talented roster in the NFL. The problem is their quarterback. Friend of show, Jeff Schwartz, goes in on Baker once again. And I know his feelings very well on the subject. He thinks that we have pretty much the most talented roster in the NFL, and that Baker is the hole in the roster. So, and he is set in that camp. He will die on that hill, and I hope Jeff Schwartz.
And he will die on that hill.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
Speaking of
that's
which,
too
we got to
funny.
get him back on the show to defend that bad take.
Oh boy, that would be interesting.
He'll come on with his spoon. Remember his spoon? His analysis spoon?
Oh God.
Remember that?
Well,
He was
oh yeah.
videos.
Oh yeah.
It was really insightful, but he was using the back end of a spoon to point out things. And I thought that was very unique.
Very, very unique. Oh man. All right, we're gonna try to bring Bruce Buffer back here. Fingers are crossed. We will be right back. I will play a little music. Stick with us.
Let's go, Dave.
Oh
Make it
boy, we'll see what happens. That's not working. Huh. Technical difficulties. Once again.
Could we wrap up this show and then post it right after?
We might have to do that. Let's see. Just seeing if there's a way we can do it. Nothing like a live show. Yeah, we might have to post it. We might have to stop this and then restart it and then bring him back.
All right.
Shall we do that?
I think we should. We should do it for Cleveland.
Well, she's a psychology.
Congrats to Katie winning the gold.
We didn't even talk about that, by the way. Yes, please get that in.
Yeah, absolutely. She wins gold for us in the pole vault, and that was amazing. I think that's some solid show karma right there. Be able to pull that off after she talked on this show about doing the Cleveland, this is for you. She goes, and after she wins the gold, she's walking around the track and she finds this one camera. She gets into it, grabs the camera, and then unleashes this.
Well, she's a psychologist. She has a degree in.
And
She has a degree in
psychology.
psychology.
That's right. He stepped all over it. That stupid announcer. But Katie got it in. She did it. She won gold. So
heck yes.
Congrats to Katie. That's fantastic. Olmsted Falls, Cleveland. And that's just a fantastic way to wrap it up. I tell you. Be able to pull it off, not only get the gold, but then also get the quote in there.
Heck yeah. And Ed in Columbus, he called it. Put him up on the screen there. He has the winning lotto numbers as well. So hit him up, Ed in Columbus.
Yeah, he did. That's right. That's right.
Well, she's a psych.
That is right. All right.
He does sound a little foreign in there.
I think
did
she's
mention
cried.
Yeah. I guess I'll lay off her because she did just win a gold and was probably pretty emotional since she'd spent 30 years of her life basically training for this.
Right?
So,
Yes, Chris. After you win the golden pole vault, let's see how you sound.
yeah, when I win a gold, then I can critique others. No, I thought it was fantastic. Way to go, Katie.
That's right. Absolutely. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to try to come back with Bruce Buffer. He's on the Pacific time. We'll try to bring him back here. We're going to end this show, restart things, bring him back. But huge shout out to Shacknews. Check him out, shacknews.com. Twitch streams, live video game content. Go drink a Labatt Blue. Early shout out to Bruce Buffer for hopefully, fingers crossed, joining us here. And we will see you guys next Monday as we inch closer to the Browns season. We'll see you then. Stay tuned.
Well, she's a psych.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. A swing of the drive. To deep left. Away. Back to goal. Reflux. It's tough golfer backwards.
No. Oh, yeah.